Let's talk about running your very first website crawl. It might sound a little technical, but trust me, we're going to break this down into a really simple and kind of exciting first step to really understanding your site from the inside out. Let's dive in. So, have you ever wished you could just see your website the way a search engine does? Well, that's exactly what a crawl is. Think of it like a digital adventure. You're basically sending out a tiny little explorer to map every single page, every link, every image. This is your treasure map for making your site so much better. It's not some scary technical audit. It really is like a road trip. Your little digital explorer is hitting every stop on the map, checking for things like broken links, super slow pages, or missing images. It's giving your site a complete health check so you can see what's actually going on under the hood. So why even bother with this? Well, this quote pretty much says it all, right? If your website is a party, you gotta make sure your guests and the search engines can find all the good stuff. A crawl creates that map for them. It finds all the little roadblocks that are hurting your SEO and just making things confusing for visitors. You don't want anyone missing out on your best content. Okay, let's get practical. Here's your quick start guide to launching your very first crawl. And I promise, this is gonna be way more straightforward than you think.
Seriously, we've all been there, right? Digging through the couch cushions, getting frustrated. Starting a crawl is so much simpler. Let me just walk you through the actual steps right now. See, it really is just 5 simple steps. First, you just go to the crawler page and pop in your homepage URL. Easy enough. For step 3, just set the crawl depth to 3. That's a perfect starting point. It goes deep enough to find useful stuff, but it won't take forever. Then, in step 4, you can tell it to skip any pages you don't care about, like maybe a private login area. And finally, you just hit Start Crawl, and boom, your Explorer is officially on its way. So you've started the engine, the crawl is running, but what if you want to customize the trip a little? Well, you can think of these next options as packing some extras for that road trip. They're not totally essential for your first drive, but man, they can make the journey a whole lot smoother. First up, you've got max depth. This is just how many clicks away from your homepage you want the Explorer to go. Then there's exclude paths. This is basically your detour button. If there's an old, dusty section of your site you want to ignore, you can just tell the crawler to drive right on by. Next, there's an option to respect robots.txt. That's just a simple file on your site with rules for web robots. Following those rules is just good etiquette. You're telling your own crawler to obey the speed limits you've already set. And then you have rate limiting, which is kind of like cruise control. It slows the whole process down just enough to not overwhelm your server. You want to see the scenery, not cause a massive traffic jam. Now, here is a really important pro tip for your first crawl. Keep it simple. Seriously, over-customizing right away is like overpacking for a weekend trip. You just end up with a bunch of stuff you don't even need. Stick to the basics, see what you find, and then you can get all fancy on your next run. And here's the fun part. Once it's running, you actually get to watch the magic happen. You can monitor the progress in real time, see how many pages it's found, and even get an estimate for when it'll be done. It's so satisfying. Kind of like watching the GPS on a road trip and seeing that ETA get closer and closer. Okay, so you've completed your first trip. Awesome. But what's the difference between that first simple drive and becoming a seasoned pro at this? Let's take a look at how you can really level up your skills here. So here, you can really see that journey from beginner to pro. You start with a quick and easy crawl, and you get a basic but useful sitemap. But as you get more comfortable, you'll start going deeper, using custom exclusions to get cleaner data. And this is how you go from just a simple map to a full-blown report packed with incredible optimization insights, like finding pages that no one can get to or spotting duplicate content that's hurting your SEO. So, you've got the results from your first crawl. You've officially started your journey. But, the adventure doesn't just stop here. The real question is, what's your next move? But first, hey, take a second and celebrate. Mission complete! You've successfully mapped your entire website. You now have a real baseline understanding of its structure and its health. And let me tell you, that is a huge win. And that all leads to the final and maybe the most important question. Now that you know how to do this, are you ready for the next adventure? Because now you can go deeper, you can try different settings, and you can start turning all those insights from your crawl into real, meaningful improvements for your site. The journey has really just begun.